So this last 20 years, every year you have question on this topic. Okay, mandatorily they'll ask you questions on this. So first, conduction. Is air good conductor of heat or bad conductor of heat? Air. Air is bad conductor. What is the meaning of this? If I have a candle, if I'm closer to it, it will be hot. If I keep going away, it will be cooler. That means impact of air, that is impact of the heat, will not be there as we move away. So air is bad conductor of heat. So now second point, do we have conduction in atmosphere? Do you recollect just now I told you, when earth is hot, air above the earth will be hot, hot air rises. When earth is cold, air above the earth will be cooler, cool air comes down. That means, can I say, closer to the earth's surface, we will have exchange of heat. Okay, so in entire atmosphere, okay, in atmosphere, this word is important, conduction is present in lower atmosphere. This point is important. Conduction is present in lower atmosphere, and lower atmosphere is basically your troposphere. Okay, troposphere normally has this. Next, second one, what is the meaning of convection? Whenever there is vertical movement or vertical circulation of air, it is called convection. Okay, so now you see here, if I heat it from below, this layer becomes hot. And this layer remains cold. Can we say cold is heavier? So the heavy one comes down, hot rises. Is there vertical movement? This is called as what? Convection. Okay, so convection is when there is vertical movement of air or water. So what is the condition for convection? This is convection. What is the condition? With increase in height, temperature should decrease. With increase in height, if temperature decreases, then there will be convection. Which layer of atmosphere will have convection? Troposphere. This phenomena is observed in troposphere. It is also observed in mesosphere. Troposphere and mesosphere have convection. Mesosphere particles are less, so we say less convection. Troposphere particles are more, so convection is more. Okay, now same phenomena if we heat it from above, this becomes hot. Cold. Cold is already below, hot is already above. Cold doesn't go above, hot doesn't come down. That means there is no convection. Where do you observe this phenomena? This phenomena is observed in stratosphere, thermosphere. Okay, now another important point is this phenomena is observed in Delhi during winter, which is responsible for pollution. This is also responsible for fog formation. Okay, Delhi guys, please tell, winter season, will land be cooler? If land is cooler, air closer to land will be cold. Away from the land will be hot. Cold air is below, hot air is above. So there is no convection. As there is no convection, like what will happen? No circulation of pollutants. Second, if there is cold, cold leads to fog formation. If fog is there, can you tell me? Fog plus smoke leads to what? Smoke. Right? Within smog, if ozone is there, it will form photochemical smoke. Terms associated with no convection. Okay. Why Delhi is a gas chamber? Because of inversion of temperature. What is inversion of temperature? With increase in height, temperature is increasing. Okay. So here, what is the phenomena? We call it as inversion of temperature. Delhi can be asked any time. Delhi can be asked any time. Because all your question paper setters are in Delhi only. Right? Issues are always there. Shall I move? Now, most important one. Radiation. This heat is radiated outside without contact. Okay, very important. So conduction is with contact, convection is vertical movement, radiation is without contact. Now, when it is radiated outside, it will be radiated in the form of waves. Okay, so it will be radiated in the form of waves. If I have 100 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius, 100 degrees Celsius radiates short wave, 40 degree radiates long wave. Are you getting the point? 100 degree short wave, 40 degree long wave. What is the meaning? Hotter the object, shorter is the wavelength. This point is important. Okay. So you tell me sun and earth, which one will be high temperature? Sun. So whatever comes from the sun is short wave. Whatever goes from the earth is long wave. Shall I move? Hotter the object, shorter is the wavelength. This word is important. 2023 prelims question is about this. Some aspects we are teaching every year. From 2013 onwards we are teaching. After exam, you will understand that questions came. Okay. If you call and tell, sir, questions came, it's of no use. You tell, sir, we wrote. Okay. So last time I told you isotherms and all. Questions came. Students saw. They did not write. What is the use? I need not prove that, like, whatever I teach, questions come. We are out of that game. We will be happy only when you answer them. So whatever I'm trying to tell you, at least now, next 80 days, every line is important. In this, don't make gist. This is the gist of everything. Every keyword try to understand. If you don't understand the concept, ask me. That's fine. Right? But I'm just trying to tell every line there is a meaning. That's why I'm giving you, and it is interconnected with other questions. So if this you have clarity, if you can rewrite them without seeing 2 to 3 times, most of it would be easier. Okay. So guys, from the sun, what do we call it as? Incoming insolation. Will it be short wave or long wave? Good. But whatever comes from the sun, if I call it as 100%, 10% will be UV, 50% will be visible light, which you call it as VIBGYOR, 40% will be infrared. Okay. Shortest is which one? UV. Among the 3, shortest is UV. Little bit longest is which one? Infrared. Now, you might have heard UV is absorbed by ozone. So if UV is absorbed by ozone, visible light is helpful for seeing, So heat is because of which one? Infrared. This was prelims question. Atmosphere heat is due to which one? Infrared radiation. Yeah. So when we get from the sun, we don't get same wavelength. Within that there will be short wavelength, long wavelength and medium wavelength. Shortest wavelength is UV. Among the three, longest is which one? Infrared. Now UV is absorbed by ozone. So only ozone is heated because of UV. Remaining atmosphere, if it has to be heated, then it is due to infrared radiation. Right? Water vapor, everything absorbs infrared radiation. Visible light is mostly not generating the heat. It is scattered and helps in visibility. VIBGR. So here what happens? The amount of heat will be very less. But what is the meaning of black color? All colors, if it is absorbed, if VIBGR, everything is absorbed, then it becomes what? Black. If everything is reflected, white. Okay. So if something is green, what is the meaning of that? If something appears green. So if I can see green, that means green came back to my eyes. Rest all is absorbed. If something is appearing blue, what is the meaning of that? Rest all is absorbed, blue is reflected. That's why I could see. Plants appear green. That means plants take all the colors except this. See, I cannot say there will be zero impact of VIBGR. Impact will be there. But what is the major source of heat? It is infrared. Now, whatever goes out of the earth, what do we call it as? Long wave, outgoing terrestrial radiation. Is this topic I'm telling you, especially because of global warming. They ask a lot. Okay. So which one absorbs, which doesn't absorb. See, from now on, we'll call Earth's rays as OTR, Sun's rays as insolation. Now, yeah. You see here, oxygen and nitrogen. Can I say 99% of atmosphere is made up of what? Oxygen and nitrogen. Because of this, what is going to happen? Oxygen and nitrogen does not absorb insolation. It neither absorbs OTR. So, OTR is sent back, insolation is not absorbed. So, prelims question, 99% of atmosphere is transparent to both sun's rays and earth's radiation. Are you getting the point? You see, oxygen and nitrogen forms 99% of the atmosphere, 78 and 21. Yes, it doesn't absorb sun's rays also, it doesn't absorb earth's rays also. Because of this, what is going to happen? Normally, you will observe that it would be what? Transparent. Atmosphere is transparent to sun's rays also, atmosphere is transparent to earth's rays also in most of the areas. Next, you take the case of ozone. will have, can you tell me guys, what is the case with ozone? Does it absorb sun's rays? Ozone, does it absorb sun's rays? Yes. Which part of sun's rays? UV. In case if they go out of the box and ask you specifically, does it absorb entire UV? No. It absorbs only UVB. Okay, UVB is absorbed. Next, does it absorb Earth's radiation? Does ozone absorb Earth's radiation? Now comes another point. Ozone is also present in troposphere. Remember, ozone is a pollutant when it comes to troposphere. Ozone is, you might have heard good ozone, bad ozone. In stratosphere it is called as good ozone. Troposphere it is called as bad ozone. Because when we inhale ozone, health problems will come. Now, here, you see, tropospheric ozone absorbs Earth's radiation. Okay, right there below, mark as important. O3, ozone absorbs UV part of insolation. UV part of insolation. First, ozone in stratosphere doesn't absorb OTR, but tropospheric ozone absorbs OTR. Next. Next one. Water vapor. Remember this word. Water vapor is called natural greenhouse gas. Natural greenhouse gas. And what does it do? It absorbs sun's rays also. It will absorb Earth's rays also. Okay. So, wherever moist air is there, sun's rays is also absorbed. Earth's rays is also absorbed. What is the problem with this? You see here, water vapor, if it is present more moisture, that means, can we call it as humid climate? Second point, it is also called as marine climate. Where will you have more water vapor? Can we say it's mostly near oceans? So as you have near oceans, it's called as what? Marine climate. What is the characteristic of it? Can I say daytime insolation is more? Nighttime OTR is more? Yes. Daytime water vapor absorbs insolation. Nighttime water vapor absorbs OTR. Because of this, diurnal range of temperature is less. Diurnal range of temperature is less. Very, very important. Daily range of temperature. Night and morning temperature range will be less. So what is the case? Please see, Visakhapatnam, night temperature will be 38, morning temperature will be 39. Rajasthan. Rajasthan, can I say dry air? Dry air. Daytime temperature 40 degree, nighttime temperature 8 degree. Right? That is continental climate. This is marine climate. Diurnal range of temperature is less. Annual range is also less. Next, clouds. Mark as very important. Yes. Clouds means here first I am considering white color clouds. White reflects. Can I say if clouds are not there, sun's rays will fall, land gets heated, temperature increases. But if we are below the clouds, what is going to happen? Reflection will be more. As reflection is more, temperature decreases. During which period? Day or summer. Why equator doesn't have highest temperature? Prelims question. Why equator doesn't have highest temperature? What is the reason equator doesn't have highest temperature? Because equator has clouds. Do you recollect 4 o'clock rainfall? Clouds will be there. As clouds are there, equator will not have highest temperature. Then where will you have highest temperature, guys? Yes? NCERT says 20 degree north. Okay? 20 degree north has highest temperature. 20 degree north is approximately desert area. Why not equator? Because clouds are there. Why not 20 degree south? Oceans are more. Do you recollect southern hemisphere what is more? Oceans are more. So 20 degree north has highest temperature on earth. Okay? 20 degree north. Then, can you tell me guys, in the night, what is going to happen? In the night, what is going to happen? Can we say OTR is reflected? If OTR is reflected, temperature increases. Why? Heat is trapped. In this classroom, if heat is trapped, can I say temperature keeps on increasing? Okay. Now, what is prelims question? Please see here. On a cloudless, on a cloudy night. Okay. What is the question? Cloudy night. Night means, will you have insolation or only OTR? Only OTR. Why dew is not formed is the question. Okay. On a cloudy night, why dew is not formed? What is dew? Okay. Whenever Earth's surface is cold, if air touches Earth's surface, water droplets will be seen. Have you seen during winter season on leaves, glasses and all? Water droplets will be there. Now, when will this occur? Earth's surface must be cool. Now you tell, if clouds are present in the night, can I say Earth's rays is reflected back? If it is reflected back, can we say Earth will become hotter? And if Earth becomes hotter, will you have dew or no dew? No dew. What are the options? 4 options they gave. Clouds reflect sun's rays. Clouds absorb sun's rays. You see here, clouds reflect sun's rays is correct. But the question is about what? Night. Night means sun's rays won't be there. What is the third point? Clouds reflect Earth's radiation. Clouds absorb Earth radiation. Clouds reflect Earth's radiation. Are you getting the point? So, I'm telling you, clouds are very, very important. In the morning, clouds are helpful. In the night, clouds are harmful. During summer, clouds will reduce the temperature. During winter, clouds increase the temperature. Do you agree with me? Yes. You see here, day or summer. India, can you tell me, India, June month, can I say India is in northern hemisphere? June month is summer solstice for us. But can we say school starts in June? Correct. Summer holidays are till May. Why? Because in the month of June, clouds come over India. Monsoon clouds will come over India. So, in India, summer is good. That is, June is good because of clouds. Okay. Here, what is the case? Which is the season you are talking? Night or winter? Important is. Next. There are different types of clouds, guys. Low altitude, thick clouds. This is from NASA website and this is prelims question. High altitude, thin clouds. Okay. Low altitude, thick clouds. High altitude, thin clouds. So, reflects sun's rays. As it reflects sun's rays, temperature decreases. Here, absorbs OTR, temperature increases. Okay, so this is directly picked from NASA website. Draw these two. UPSC repeats questions, guys. Don't think they won't repeat. Next. Greenhouse gases. What are the properties of greenhouse gases? Yes? Yes, good. Insolation comes easily. Okay. Absorbs insolation, right? And doesn't absorb insolation but absorb OTR. Temperature increases. OTR is more during night or during day? Night. So, because of this particular thing, we have something called rural areas are less affected, urban areas are more affected during night. Okay, so urban heat island effect. Why Hyderabad and cities like Bangalore are getting late night rainfall? Late night heavy rainfall is because of urban heat island effect. Why do you have, what do you call it as, floods? Which floods? You might have heard, cloud bursts. Cloud bursts in Hyderabad, cloud bursts in Bangalore, Delhi last year. What was the reason? Urban heat island effect. Okay, urban heat island effect means urban areas will be hotter compared to surrounding rural areas during night. Okay, just write that line. UHI, urban heat island hyphen, during night, urban areas are much hotter compared to surrounding rural areas. Okay, is what all comes under GHGs? What are the greenhouse gases? Okay, according to Kyoto Protocol, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, perfluorocarbon, then hydrofluorocarbon, sulfur hexafluoride. According to Doha Round, nitrogen trifluoride. Has greenhouse gases. Okay, because the moment you see fluoride, any gas with fluoride is a greenhouse gas, right? The more fluoride it has, the bad greenhouse gas it is. Okay, similarly, fluoride is what? Greenhouse gas. The moment you see the word chlorine, bromine. Chlorine, bromine. What is that? Chlorine and bromine normally is ozone depleting substance. Okay, hydrochloro, chlorofluoro, hydrobromo, whatever you see, what are those gases? Ozone depleting substances. See, prelims preparation is not about elaboration. Prelims preparation is all about the way UPSC is asking questions from the last 15 years in the same pattern, same lines. If you can think, that's enough. Any subject. Climatology, 40% comes. When you talk about what do you call it as, history, ancient, medieval, can we say Buddhism, Jainism questions are more? Any question is coming, any type of question comes on Buddhism, Jainism, art and culture you take, anything they'll ask, right? Same way, polity, parliament chapter, right? And you do mistakes also there on, right? President, vice president, everyone gets confused. Now you take the case economy, money and banking, right? Every subject has an area. See, degrees you people might have prepared for. How did you prepare? Last day, yes. But last day, what did you do? First thing is you used to see from where 5 questions come. Right? Correct. You saw where 5 questions come. You started preparing on that. Yes. If you're giving 2027, 2028, you can always feel I'll do. But remember, UPSC, you will never have a feeling that it is complete. Whatever you do, even now, after teaching for these many years, If you give me 100 geography questions, I won't be able to write more than 70 because you can ask anything. Correct? So we are not aiming for perfection. Prelims is not about perfection. CSAT you prepare. CSAT you prepare. History, polity, economy, geography. Ancient and medieval, if you are good, advantage. If not, at least modern. History, polity, economy, geography. What is the standard book? NCERT. New NCERT books for all 4 subjects. Plus Lakshmikant. If you can manage this well. Remember, if, what do you call it as, these 4 subjects, if you get 45 questions, cutoff will be 100. If these 4 subjects you get 35 questions, cutoff will be 80. In exam, if static part is more, cutoff increases. Static part is less, cutoff decreases. Current affairs is same for everyone. Majority of the people, current affairs is same because no one knows from where they give. Any test series you write, it's same. No question comes. Right? Every institution tries to scare you. That's it. You see, geography alone, how many tests will they give? Have you seen? Section test will be there. Full length test will be there. Again, in full length. Geography alone, they have to make 500 questions. What will they ask? One institution guy, he was making questions on 1857 revolt. Okay, they told to make 30 questions on 1857 revolt in daily test, 30 questions on weekly test, right? Monthly test, some 20 questions. 80 questions from 1857 revolt. It should not repeat. What will come? Then you start asking who all died. Like, you go to depth. So I'm telling you, institutions have become more complicated because of this. This is the time you people get fear that why my scores are not increasing. Many people said, sir, I'm getting 80 questions. I'm getting 60 questions. Am I in the right track? These doubts will be there. Remember, UPSC always asks simple question. Longest day in the year when? Okay, non-cooperation movement. Reasons for non-cooperation movement. Questions directly it will come. If you do mistake in this, gone. Okay, so I'm just trying to tell NCERTs and terms, and understand all these tricks are only to eliminate in the sentence. Don't go for any type of tricks. I think 2 years back one guy released, topper released, without preparing how to mark 30 questions correctly. Okay, it became viral. UPSC also saw. Then only they changed the pattern. Right? There is nothing like without preparation you can become IAS. So, you saw greenhouse gases. Next, guys. Dust particles. Mark is important. Yes. They reflect insolation, temperature decreases. Ethiopia had an eruption after 12,000 years. Did you hear? Ethiopia, Africa had eruption after 12,000 years. And they erupted pyroclastic material, dust particles. And these dust particles reflect sun's rays. Okay, and it helps in cooling off the earth. Right? So dust particle is it, you will have a term called as positive effect and negative effect. Okay, so whenever temperature increases, we call it as positive effect. When temperature decreases, we call it as negative effect. So here, like insolation is reflected and temperature decreases with respect to what? Dust particles. And one of the most important gas released from the atmosphere and asked in exam also, sulfur dioxide. Okay, most of the sulfur dioxide is in stratosphere. Sulfur dioxide accumulated in stratosphere is called as Bunge layer. Okay, and this reflects sun's rays, temperature reduces. 2014-15 time question papers, you see, they have asked sulfur dioxide helps in global warming. Will it increase global warming or decrease global warming? Decrease. Sulfur dioxide helps in decreasing global warming. Okay. So what all reflect sun's rays? Three things: clouds, dust particles, sulfur dioxide. Shall I? Now, see guys, sun's rays will fall, it is reflected, it is sent back. What is it called? Reflection. Let's say whatever is coming is 100%, 5% is absorbed, 95% is sent back. Amount of insolation reflected is called albedo. Okay. What is albedo? Amount of insolation reflected is called albedo. Then what is radiation? You got reflection. What is radiation? Sun's rays is coming, it is absorbed. After absorbing, OTR is sent back. This is called radiation. If incoming is also short wave, outgoing is also short wave, then it is reflection. If you take forest, can we say forest means trees? Trees absorb sun's rays for photosynthesis, correct? If they absorb sun's rays for photosynthesis, that means albedo is less. What is albedo? Reflected part of the sun's rays. So if plants are more, plants absorb sun's rays. If plant absorbs sun's rays, albedo reduces. So more plants means less albedo. So you tell me, will grassland has more albedo or forest has more albedo? Yes? Which one absorb more? Forest absorb more, so albedo will be less. Grasslands absorb less, so albedo will be more. You take the case of desert. Can we say desert doesn't absorb much? Why? Plants are less. Remember, less number of plants, albedo is more. Carbon content, starch and all is more. But absorption basis, if we see, sunlight and other aspects, and how much is sent back, if you see, okay, from that point. Desert and tundra. You see, if we talk about albedo, albedo of forest is less than grassland. This is less than desert, less than tundra. Tundra has ice, because of which it reflects more. But Antarctica recently has seen melting of glaciers and plants have started coming. If you have more plants, then what is going to happen? Albedo decreases. I want you to write two words. You write below. As tree cover increases, albedo decreases. albedo decreases. So forest has less albedo. Next, in recent years, tundra region is becoming hotter, and plants are increasing. First, so albedo is reducing. Last 3 years, questions have increased from heat budget of the earth. Okay, from heat budget of the earth, questions have increased. It's just 2 minutes, you see. First, whatever comes from the sun, 100%. From this, 35% is albedo. That means short wave going out is 35%. And in this 100%, 14% is absorbed by atmosphere. So can you tell me what absorbs sun's radiation? Ozone absorbs 10%, water vapor absorbs 4%. You recollect? UV part, yes. So 14% is absorbed by atmosphere. Can you tell me 35 plus 14, 49, how much is left? 51%. So first point that you must remember is earth receives only half of insolation. Okay, I'll tell you the points that you have to write. Now, how much will earth send back? Earth will send back 51%. Out of 51%, 17% reaches outer space and 34% is absorbed by atmosphere. So in total, atmosphere gets how much? 48%, and this 48% is sent back. Okay, 2 minutes. Everyone see here. What all you will get here? First, how much is earth getting? 51. From sun, how much is atmosphere getting? From sun, 14%. From earth, how much is atmosphere getting? 34%. Last year prelims question. What is it? Earth is the major source of heat for atmosphere. Okay. Sun is the major source of heat for earth, but earth is the major source of heat for atmosphere. 1/3 of the insolation is albedo. 35% is albedo. 1/3 is albedo. Okay. From heat budget, these 3 points are important. You write below. Earth receives only or almost, they may give only half of insolation. Second point, 1/3 1/3 of insolation is albedo. Is albedo. Third point. Sun is the major source of heat. Sun is the major source of heat for Earth. And Earth is major source of heat for atmosphere. Underline this. You wrote this? Next is atmosphere chapter. Some facts. First is about evolution of atmosphere. Yes. In the beginning, Earth had atmosphere called as primordial atmosphere. And the primordial atmosphere was hydrogen and helium. Okay. All planets in the solar system had hydrogen and helium. In prelims, they'll give you, there was huge quantities of oxygen. No. Okay. First. Second, this primordial atmosphere was lost. Loss of primordial atmosphere. Why did it lose? It lost because of solar wind. Okay. Solar wind removed primordial atmosphere in inner planets. In inner planets. Juno satellite was sent to study primordial atmosphere of which of the following planets? Okay. They gave Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. Jupiter, because inner planets lost primordial atmosphere due to solar wind. Because of this, Jupiter, Saturn, they have primordial atmosphere. First four do not have primordial atmosphere. Okay. Second, after this, we observe there was a process called as degassing and volcanoes. Degassing and volcanoes means it is cooling of the atmosphere. Cooling of the atmosphere, or sorry, cooling of the earth. When there is cooling of the earth, especially volcanoes, guess what are the gases that come? Again, water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, some people say traces of oxygen. These traces of oxygen will be made huge quantities of oxygen. Okay, but there was no huge quantities, there were only traces. Okay, guys, now also we have solar wind. Why are we not losing? Now also we have solar wind. Why are we not losing? Today, Earth's atmosphere is protected by geomagnetic field. Okay, Earth is protected from solar wind by geomagnetic field. Okay, then guys, fourth stage is photosynthesis. This life first evolved where? Land or water? Water. Photosynthesis. And the fifth stage is human activity. Human activity. Okay, next. This components of atmosphere. Atmosphere is made up of gases. Nitrogen, oxygen, argon, carbon dioxide. Based on the gases, atmosphere is divided into two layers. What are the two layers? Homosphere, heterosphere. Okay, what is homosphere? Composition is same. Okay, so here composition is same. Please understand, they'll ask you questions like oxygen is present till what height? Carbon dioxide is present till what height? They won't give you height, they won't ask you 90, 100 as options. They'll tell you oxygen is present till 180, carbon dioxide is present till 120. They'll give like this. In geography, is the moment you see number in a statement, the statement is wrong. Okay, the reason is there is no book where we can accurately say this is the height. Okay, it's very difficult to tell the height of everything, depth of everything. So mostly UPSC will do mistake. If I say 100 kilometers, I can show to UPSC 120 is also there. So what UPSC will do? UPSC will do oxygen is present throughout the atmosphere. So oxygen is present only till 100 kilometers. Carbon dioxide is present only till 90 kilometers. That is what you must have clarity. Okay, gases are not uniform. Yes, what is homosphere? Till what height do you have homosphere? 80. 80 means what all will come? Troposphere, stratosphere and mesosphere. Heterosphere is basically your thermosphere. Okay, gases. Recently, guys, water vapor questions have increased a lot. If water vapor is less, we call dry. If water vapor is more, we call moist. Okay. Which air will be denser, guys? Dry air is denser compared to moist air. This is the reason moist air rises. Moist air rises to form clouds. Correct? If dry air is like, what you call less weight, dry air will rise. Moist air comes down. If moist air comes down, the things would be different. Let me explain how. Okay, so now you see, I have iron content. I'll remove some iron. I'll add cotton in a box. Can I say only iron is heavier compared to cotton and iron? Yes. Now same way, think of this. Dry air means what is more? Nitrogen and oxygen. If I replace nitrogen and oxygen with water vapor molecular weight is less compared to nitrogen and oxygen. So because of this, which air will be heavier? See guys, nitrogen and oxygen molecular weight is more, so they are heavier compared to water vapor. So if I replace iron with cotton, can I say cotton will be less weight compared to iron? Same way, if I replace nitrogen and oxygen from water vapor, what is going to happen? It becomes lighter. Now you think of this concept, okay? Moist air rises, then only it will form clouds. Dry air doesn't rise. This is one of the reasons when you see like this, air rises here. So which air rises? Moist air. Which air descends? Heavier air comes down, lighter air rises. For clouds to be formed, do you need moist air or dry air? Imagine if moist air was heavier. Concept. If moist air was heavier, it would never rise. If it never rises, there is no clouds. When water particle size increases, weight increases, it starts coming down as rainfall. If its density increases, it becomes fog. Water vapor, the moment it becomes water particles, what is going to happen? Weight increases. Either it will form fog or cloud. Weight increases, it comes down. If weight is less, it will be present. Right? So, guess many people get confused. Okay. Just remember one thing. You write a point. Statement 1, statement 2. You can write. Like, dry air is heavier than moist air. This is statement 1. Second point, water vapor is less dense than nitrogen and oxygen. Less dense than nitrogen and oxygen. Next point, in moist air, nitrogen and oxygen is replaced by water vapor. So moist air rises to form clouds. Dry air descends. Next point, you write 99% of water vapor is within troposphere. Underline that word. 99% is within troposphere. Within that, 90% of water vapor, very important guys, 90% of water vapor is within 3 kilometers, indicating that lower atmosphere has more water vapor, and because of this temperature increases. Do you agree water vapor absorbs insolation and increases the temperature? Okay, so this is the case. Where do you have more water vapor? Equator or poles? Equator will have more water vapor compared to poles. Why? More evaporation means more water vapor. Okay, you write below. Water vapor decreases with latitudes. Water vapor decreases with latitudes. Next one, dust particles. Hundred % dust particles are in troposphere. What is the use of dust particles? One is reflection. Yes. We use a term. Hygroscopic nuclei. Dust particles act as hygroscopic nuclei. This. We have moist air plus dust particles. Okay. So you tell me, as air rises, can we say air expands? If there is expansion, will there be cooling? Dust particles will become cooler. As dust particles become cooler, water droplets would condense around it. When they condense around it, it will form cloud. So dust particles helps in cloud formation. And what is the reason? Very simple guys. Air's property, okay, just a minute. Air property or water vapor property is what? Water vapor, you cool, it will not become water. Water vapor, if it has to become water, it should have a medium. So whichever medium is cooler, water vapor will condense there. This is the reason early in the morning, glass will be having water droplets. Leaves will be having water droplets. Bottle kept, tumblers kept in the fridge will have water droplets. Why? Because the moment any object becomes cooler, water vapor condenses around it as water. Else in atmosphere it is called supercooled water vapor. It will not become water if you do not have enough dust particle. Now what is the problem? You might have heard about stubble burning in Delhi. Yes. What is stubble burning? They are burning rice stubble, correct? Will it release smoke? Smoke is dust particle. And that smoke enters into Delhi. Delhi, land is cooler. If land is cooler, air above the land will become cooler. That means dust particles will become cooler. If dust particles become cooler, fog will be formed. Correct? So, normally, normal conditions, if you take guys, if I take Delhi like this, normally fog will be like this. Without stubble burning, fog will be like this. Can I say sun's rays can easily fall? Land gets heated, hot air rises. Hyderabad also has fog, but Hyderabad fog is only till 8 o'clock. Delhi's fog is till 11 o'clock. Why? In Delhi, particles are very closely present. We call thick fog. What leads to thick fog? Dust particles. Now, if you have fog, then smoke is added, which leads to smoke. So what is the role of dust particle? Dust particle leads to thick fog in Delhi. Stubble burning in Punjab, Haryana leads to thick fog in Delhi. Now, what to do? We should reduce dust particle. How to reduce dust particle? We should go for spraying water in the air. If we cannot do, rainfall must be there. You might have heard Delhi recently thought of artificial rain. So, what is the use of rain? If rain is more, dust particles settle down. Okay, so this is the reason we normally say. Can you tell me now? Deserts will have more dust particles or equator will have more dust particles? Deserts have more dust particle, equator has more dust particle. See guys, deserts will have more. What is the reason? Near equator, rainfall is more. If rainfall is more, number of dust particles reduces. You may think, sir, more clouds are there. That means more dust particles are there. No. More, see, less dust particles also help in cloud formation. Near equator, it won't be zero. Near equator, it will be less. Where it will be more? Deserts. You write there 2 points. Stubble burning. Did you write this word hygroscopic nuclei? Yes. Stubble burning in Punjab, Haryana, releases smoke and these particles lead to thick fog. Full stop. Thick fog doesn't allow insolation. Thick fog doesn't allow insolation. So Delhi will be cooler for longer duration. Next point. As rainfall increases, dust particles reduces. So equator has less dust particles compared to deserts because of rainfall. Okay, is today whatever we saw. Okay, first rotation and revolution, mandatory, one question will come. Okay, radiation, reflection and all, one question will come. Pressure, I just want you to remember two types: low pressure, high pressure. Low pressure is converging and rising, high pressure means descending and diverging. And two types of low pressure: thermally induced, dynamically induced. Two types of high pressure: thermally induced, dynamically induced. From this, questions are from today's lecture, 2 to 3 you will get. Okay, one is isotherms, radiation, reflection. Nowadays, last year, from whatever we saw today, 4 questions came. Okay, I'm just trying to tell high yielding areas. I'll tell other aspects that is important. Okay, we will do entire geography, but first we'll give more time and we'll go in depth when it comes to these areas. Later it's all factual data we can see quickly. Yes. So dust in what do you call atmosphere, there is no solid object for water vapor to become water. Okay. So wherever solid object is cooler, water vapor condenses around it. So in atmosphere there is no solid particle which will condense water vapor into water. Dust particle acts as that solid particle. So, and that helps in cloud formation. That's why we use the term hygroscopic nuclei. Yes. See, cloud is formed because of dust particle, and the same cloud will reduce the dust particle. How? The moment you spray water in the air, all the dust particles settle down. Okay. So here I want you to remember, it's all about how many dust particles are required for cloud formation and how many are there. Delhi has more than required. Normal is enough for fog. But because of more dust particles, Delhi is becoming thick fog. So to reduce that thick fog, you need to have less number of dust particles. For example, same with carbon dioxide. Is carbon dioxide good? Carbon dioxide is important for photosynthesis. It is important for everything. When is it a problem? Increases. Can we call it as quantitative pollutants? Same way, dust particle increase is quantitative, not qualitative. Fine? Okay.